Last week, the Columbus Gladiators earned one spot in the BCFL championship game, and this week we learn who their opponent will be as the Cincinnati Dukes take on the Sin City Buccaneers. The Buccaneers come in having won 7 straight games, including 4 shutouts in that span. The Dukes started the season 6-0, including 3-0 in league play, then after 2 losses, won their final 4 games, giving up just 20 points in those 4 wins. When the teams met in Week 1, the Dukes pulled out a 12-6 win. But when they met again in Week 5, it was the Bucs who came out ahead 18-12 in overtime, the last time either of these two teams had lost a game. Bradley Cullen kicked off to start the game, and when the Dukes failed to field the kick, Austin Murphy raced downfield and gained possession for the Bucs to open the game. On third down, Antonio Davis found Marcus Commodore over the middle. He stretched for the end zone. He was rolled down just before losing possession. Instead, it was Greg Johnson who found his way in from 1 yard out to give the Bucs a 7-0 lead less than 2 minutes into the game. The Dukes went 3 and out, and the Bucs went for the quick strike. Antonio Davis fired a deep pass. Darian Brown hauled it in. He's going to go all the way for an 80-yard touchdown less than 5 minutes into the game, but a penalty for an ineligible man downfield brought the play back. Instead, Davis engineered a more methodical drive. On 3rd and 10, he found Commodore for a 20-yard pickup to the 40. Then Antoine Kendall burst up the middle for 12 yards into Duke's territory. 2 plays later, it was Austin Murphy picking up 11 yards before he was hit by Dante Jackson. Davis found Lamar Taborn for 9 yards down to the 23, and after an offsides penalty gave the Bucs a first down, Davis fired a strike to Kurt Johnson in the end zone for a touchdown, capping a 9-play, 80-yard drive that took over 6.5 minutes and gave the Bucs a 13-0 lead. On the kickoff, the Dukes once again failed to cover it, and once again Austin Murphy came sliding in to give the Bucs possession for the second time in 3 kicks to open the game. The Dukes compounded that mistake with a pair of pass interference penalties that moved the Buccaneers all the way down to the 1 yard line. Sin City took advantage with Davis pushing his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The 2-point run that followed made it 21-0 Buccaneers, and there were still more than 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Dukes looked to finally get something going. On 3rd and 17, Kamani Murray hit Justin Cornwall for 14 yards. A face mask penalty on the play gave them their first down of the game. On 4th and 10, Murray connected with Alvin Grace for a 20-yard pickup inside the red zone. But the Dukes were moved back from there, and this incomplete pass on 4th down gave possession back to Sin City. The Dukes held, forcing a 3 and out, and Justin Cornwall fielded the punt at the 47-yard line and worked his way downfield all the way in the end zone for what looked like a big touchdown, but a flag for a blindside block on the play brought it back. The Dukes do get a couple of penalties to go their way, first a roughing the passer penalty and then an offsides to get them to the Buccaneers' 5-yard line. On 3rd down, Murray is unable to handle a snap and the Dukes are pushed back to the 13. Then on 4th down, Murray is looking to the end zone. Instead he finds Quentin Gayden at the goal line. He's got a block there, and he's got plenty of blockers downfield. He's going to take it all the way 100 yards the other way for a touchdown. Instead of the Dukes answering, it is now 27-0 Buccaneers. This time the Dukes are able to field the kickoff, but this hit by Joe Willis knocks the ball out. DeMonte George is there to recover, and the Buccaneers have another possession with just under 4 minutes left before the half. Sin City gets down to the 11, but penalties push them back, and this sack by Mark Maddox is the final play of the half, with the Buccaneers leading 27-0 on the Dukes. With Davis sidelined to start the second half, the Bucs go 3 and out, and when the Dukes get the ball, Murray fires one to Justin Cornwall. He works his way across the field, and then he slips out of a tackle, works his way back the other way with a stiff arm to pick up even more yards, finally brought down after a 43-yard pickup. After an 11-yard pass the next play, Brett Robinson works his way in for a 4-yard touchdown. The Dukes are finally on the board. Their 2-point conversion is no good, but it's 27-6 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. The Bucs again go 3 and out, and on 4th and 7, Murray hits a streaking Dante Jackson over the middle. He's going to go all the way for a 57-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion no good, but the Dukes are back in it. It's now 27-12 with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Davis returns to the game, and his first play is a pass to Jay Johnson. He slips through one tackle and down the sideline for a 17-yard pickup. Bucs work their way down the 5-yard line in the fourth quarter, but on 4th and 2, Austin Murphy is stuffed, and the Dukes regain possession. They're still in it. The teams exchange punts, and when the Dukes get it back with 12 minutes remaining, Murray finds Cornwall for an 11-yard pickup and a first down. Later, Murray buys time before finding Cornwall again. He slips through one set of tacklers, almost gets through another, instead it's a 24-yard pickup to the Bucs 40-yard line. A penalty in this 5-yard pass to Al Grace gives the Dukes another first down at the Bucs 30-yard line. But they're pushed back from there, and on 4th down, Chris Shepard and Lamar Taborn bring Murray down for a drive-ending sack. With time running down, the Dukes need a stop, but on 3rd and 5, Davis hits Darian Brown. He picks up 8 yards and a first down. Then, just after the 2-minute warning on 3rd and 11, Davis drops back the pass and lobs one to Marcus Commodore. He's able to get 13 yards and another first down. The Buccaneers successfully run out the final 7 minutes and are able to start celebrating their Western Conference Championship and a trip to the Blue Collar Football League Championship game on September 11th against the Columbus Gladiators. The Dukes finished with 12 points for the third time in 3 games against the Buccaneers, but it wasn't enough as Cincinnati had already scored 21 points in the first quarter alone. Davis was an efficient 16-25 passing for 147 yards with 1 touchdown. He also ran for a score. Quentin Gayden had the 100-yard interception return for a touchdown and also had 2 tackles. Daniel Ferguson led the defense with 7 tackles and also had a pass breakup. For the Dukes, Kamani Murray was 13-25 for 202 yards and a touchdown. Justin Cornwall caught 4 passes for 92 yards. Dante Jackson had 4 tackles in addition to the touchdown reception. Dominic Raven led the Dukes defense with 6 tackles, 2 for loss. The Dukes outgained the Bucs 217 yards to 194, but they also had 2 turnovers, not including the 2 kickoffs they did not field. The Bucs were 5 of 10 on 3rd down, while the Dukes were just 1 of 8, which also helped lead to the Bucs' time of possession advantage. They had the ball for 34 minutes and 13 seconds to just 25 minutes and 47 seconds for the Dukes. And that completes the bracket on the west side, where the seeds had held up until the Buccaneers, the number 2 seed, upset the top-seeded Dukes in the championship game. The Buccaneers had knocked out the Blaze, while the Dukes had knocked out the War Eagles, who had knocked out the Rage. As a reminder, the Eastern Conference bracket had been completed last week, where the Gladiators, the number 3 seed, had upset wins against both the 2nd-seeded Storm and the top-seeded Spartans as they moved on as the Eastern Conference champion, which sets up the 2021 Blue Collar Football League Championship game with the Cincinnati Buccaneers, the Western Conference champion, facing the Columbus Gladiators, the Eastern Conference champion. The Buccaneers, after an 0-3 start to the season, have reeled off 8 straight wins, 6 in the regular season and 2 in the playoffs. The Gladiators started the BCFL season 7-0, lost their final 2 in the regular season, but as we just mentioned, rebounded to pull off 3 wins, including 2 on the road, to earn their spot in the championship game.